All right, we're back with our third team in the World Junior preview. Today we are going to do Finland. Finland, they usually have a pretty good team coming out to these tournaments. A little disappointing finish last year. They didn't do as well as they thought they would do, but this year they're coming in with a pretty strong squad, and they're going to look to make a deep run. They're in the weaker pool. They're in Pool A, so their only real challenge in the game should be Team Canada in that preliminary round. So let's see how they do and take a look. We'll start with the goaltending. So my projected starter for Finland is going to be Joel Blomqvist. He has had a really good season so far. He's got a 3-3-3 record, 2.56 goals against average. That's a little bit high, but I see goals against average as more of a team stat. And he's got a 908 save percentage. Again, that could be because the team he's playing for is on the weaker end, but he's looked good. He's great at tracking the puck through traffic. And he's only 18 years old, but he probably can grab that starter spot because the backups who we're going to get to aren't as strong. He is a Pittsburgh Penguins prospect, and he's going to be a really strong competitive goalie for the Finns and can hopefully carry them into a medal game. On the backup end, we kind of got a battle between Kari Pironen and Rup Tapanen. Pironen has more experience in the net at the World Juniors. He was with the team last year, and he will most likely serve as the backup. He has a 7-2-5 record so far with a 2.26 goals against average and a 924 save percentage. So he's having a pretty good start to his season. Tappinen, he's going to be the third netminder most likely, and he won't see any ice. Maybe he'll see one game, or if there's an injury or something, but I can't see him seeing any of the preliminary games, and definitely not into the medal round. But with that being said, he has had the better start to the season, which he's got a record of 5-1-4, 1.84 goals against average, which is good, and a 928 save percentage, which is even better. The Finns, one of their strengths here is definitely their goaltending. They have three solid choices in net. And I'm looking at Joel Blomqvist to start. And then it's really going to be a battle of the backups. It'll be interesting to see how they handle that. Going to the defense, their defense core, it's going to be centered around the Winnipeg Jets prospect, Vin Henola. He, good two-way defender, smooth skating. He's going to see a lot of power play time on that top pairing. In 7 games last year at the World Junior Championship, he had 5 assists, and he was relied on heavily at both ends of the ice. And I can see that happening again this year just because they have lost 2 of their main defense from last year. And he's going to be a good influence on some of the younger players just because he's already got that experience and he is an older player. Another option they have on the blue line, and he's probably going to see top 4 minutes, is San Jose Sharks prospect Santeri Hataka. He's very good defensively at his own end, and he likes to rush the puck up the ice, and he's good at breaking the puck out of his own zone, which is going to be huge for the Finns, especially in that game against Canada. And he shuts down the other team's opponents by playing a physical game. Physicality in the World Juniors is a huge asset. As these kids come flying out of the gate, the adrenaline's pumping. You are dealing with teenagers and young adults, so they do get caught into the moment. And especially with a couple of these teams, not many of their players have been playing games just because of the COVID-19 pandemic. So physicality is going to be a huge asset, and he can bring that to the team. Another 2 defensemen who could round out that top 4, both of them from the Toronto Maple Leafs, and they're in their system, recently drafted. We got Mikko Kukkonen. He's going to see a bigger role than he did last year. He's good at driving the opponents to the outside of the zone, and he's really good at shutting down potential goal scoring chances, and he's going to be looking to improve on what he did last year and keep that momentum going and show everybody what he can do. And then the other Maple Leafs prospect who could possibly see some top 4 ice time, I don't know if he will, but he is an option, is Topi Namala. He's got definitely top 4 potential. He's got some power play time, and he's got a really heavy shot to get through traffic, which is going to be important. And that's why I think we will see him on the power play 2 unit for Finland. We do have some other options to round out the defense. First, I'm looking at Ruben Ravkin. He's a great passer, really good at passing and getting that puck through the neutral zone, hitting his teammates in stride. And he is also not afraid to battle in the corners to get the puck back, which is going to be good on turnovers, especially, like I've said before, in that game against Canada, where you are likely going to turn over the puck more than once. Next, we have Emil Viro, Detroit Red Wings prospect. He's going to be able to open up the ice for his teammates by using his body, and his skating ability is really good. Probably one of the stronger skaters on the Finns blue line, and he's going to be able to use his physicality and, like I said, that stride to open up the ice for his teammates and hit them in the neutral zone. Casper Portillo, who is a Florida Panthers prospect, he's good at locking his opponents down, and he's going to see some penalty killing time because he's known for that. Not so much of an offensive player, but he does make his defensive presence known when he's on the ice with big hits and good stick checks. He's really good with his stick and closing the gap on 2-on-1s, 3-on-2s, 1-on-1s. And I'm looking to see him in maybe like a 5-6 role. He might see some top 4 time, but highly doubtful. And lastly, we have someone who's probably not going to see a lot of playing time. We got Matthias Rajanemi. He's a New York Islanders prospect. He's got a heavy shot. He's 6'4", but there's just some more talent on this blue line, and he might see 1 or 2 games, but I can't see him seeing any games past the preliminary round. But when he's on the ice, he does make his presence known, so the Finns could use that in some of the more physical games. Looking at the forwards, we got Anton Lundell. He's going to slot in that first line center role. Florida Panthers prospect. So far in the 17 games he's played, he's got 20 points, which is a really good start for him, and he's going to be looking to build on the momentum he's already started this year. He's started a really good, strong season, and he's going to open up a lot of ice with his speed and stick ability. So that's Anton Lundell slotting in at that first line center role. Joining him on that line, a second round pick of the Ottawa Senators in the 2020 draft, I have Javenti. He's got a nose for the net, and he's going to be relied upon to kind of put the finishing touches on all the plays. He has really good hockey sense, and he's good at finding open space to finish off a shot. That's going to be big against teams as well, just because, like I said earlier, the adrenaline's going to be pumping and teams might forget their coverage. And also, if he's able to find that open space, that's going to be really, really helpful for the Finns. Similar to Javenti, I got Steven Tavel. He's very, very similar in that he has a nose for the net as well. He does have a really good shot, and he can beat goalies from almost anywhere in the offensive zone, but he's not as good as a playmaker as the other two previously mentioned, so he'll probably slot in on that line as well. He's going to be looking to be given the puck and not be giving out the puck, though, so that's the only thing with him. Next, we have a projected top 3 pick for the next draft in Brad Lambert. He's got a lot of makings to be a really good player in the NHL. He's going to be given an opportunity. He might not get as much ice time as he would hope for, but he has a really good ability to create plays on his stick with the puck in open ice. And he's been playing since he was like 16 in these international tournaments. So he's got experience at the international level. So it's going to be, I'm really excited to see this player. I like seeing the young guys come in and prove themselves, similar to Connor McDavid did when he was playing as an underager in the World Junior tournament. Another player I'm looking at is Hervoven. He's going to slot in on that second line. Could see some first power play time. He's a goal scorer. He likes to get that puck on the net. He sometimes looks pass first, but yeah, I just wanted to point him out because he's going to see some power play time for sure. One last guy I'm looking at on this Finnish squad is Aku Räty. He's going to slot into the bottom 6, and he could provide some effective play on a third line. He's good at forechecking. He doesn't shy away from playing in the corners, which is a good third line role for him. That's kind of your checking line, although in the World Juniors, your third and fourth line, you don't usually dedicate to a checking line and a crash and bang 'em line like you would in the NHL. So you do want to maximize what you have with your 4 lines, but I can see him being an important piece in this Finnish squad. Finland, they usually bring a good squad to this tournament. Last year was a disappointing tournament for them, but they are bringing a lot of young players, a lot of talent. Their goaltending's looking good, and I think they're going to be able to make a deep run this year. They are going to have to go through Canada if they want any chances at that gold medal, but this team, they're out to prove themselves, and they shouldn't be considered out of the picture to medal, maybe even win the tournament. So I'm predicting a top 4 finish for this Finnish squad.